Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here. It's Wednesday the 18th of October 2023. Now, we've been meaning to do this for a little while, but we've had in storage a bike that's going to form potentially what might be the next project. It's a power set bike, and it's about time that we reveal this because it will be on display at the forthcoming NEC Classic Motor Show on the 10th to the 12th of November 2023. And we'll reveal this today and do a walk around it, and then following that on the community side of the channel we'll put up a post just to let subscribers advise what should be done, because the dilemma will be keep it as is or restore it to how the factory originally intended. So without further ado, let's reveal it and then we'll do a walk around. There you go, and I'm sure most of you had guessed that it was bound to be one of the 500 singles, and here it is, a B50 SS, Goldstar 500 SS, in original unrestored trim. So let me take you off the stand and we'll do a walk around. Right then, so it's a 1971 B50 SS, manufactured in June, so an early one. It's got its black frame because it was only the final pre-production test batch, I think of about 12 bikes if I remember correctly, that had the dove grey frame, and by the time those passed quality control and production of the B50 finally began in earnest very late for the model year, it was June and they'd reverted to the black frame. So as far as most of us are aware and most of the texts describe, all the full production B50s had a black frame, including the MXs. This was imported from the US last year. Just a quick walk round, you can see that it is very much original and unrestored. It's got all its original gear on it. It has the twin leader front brake, and also as spec'd just the speedometer. The tacho was an optional extra, the tacho kit, as was the main stand, and this hasn't got its main stand, which is correct. So let's just do another sort of closer inspection. First thing that I noticed, and this is like the A70 actually, it's got its last what they call Department of Vehicles DOV sticker, i.e. equivalent of MOT in the UK, and that's June 1981 when it was last officially on the road. And like a lot of classic bikes in the US, they were bought, you know, as just leisure vehicles, used a little bit and then put away. And that's borne out by the fact that the speedo if it'll focus. Can't get it to focus very well. It's a bit of a shame. What's up with it? Not doing very well here, but anyway, the mileage on it is 3369. As with all the B50 SS's for 1971, it's flamboyant red with black trim and white pinstripe. So this is correct with no white pinstripe on the front. Tank is in factory paint, as are the side panels and original transfers, and you can see the back end of it has suffered from the usual fading of this paint, which suffered dreadfully in ultraviolet light. Now why it's just the back end like that, I'm not sure, but that might give you some idea of it having been maybe stored in a shed or a garage with its rear end pointing outwards perhaps. Just looking at the paintwork in the tank has got a bit of a dent on this side. Shallow but quite big. Might be able to pull that out. But the bigger thing really, which I'm unsure about, is why they've sort of put undercoat around the tap area. I mean, it looks as though it's had taps welded, new taps welded in maybe, or probably what's happened, and it's there we go, it's more noticeable on this side. There's a plate welded in. Now I've got a feeling that what they might have done is that this might not be the original tank. This might be a B25 tank where the taps are further forward, and if they've used this as a replacement tank, they'll have found that B25 tanks don't fit because the taps foul at the top of the engine. So because the B25 taps around about here. So what you have to do is cut the plate out with a tap in it and turn it round and weld it back in, and I think that's what's happened here. So we'll never know why, but I think that's what's happened. Other than that, it's all original, and the more I look at it, the more I think, well, actually maybe it's not in as bad a condition as you think once we've had a go at cleaning some of this up. The chrome's pitted as you'd expect, but not bad. The front rim is actually remarkably good. Paintwork wouldn't look too bad with a bit of a polish, except for that dent in the tank. It's got all its original bits and pieces, like the breather tube. The clutch cable is routed correctly, that's how it was. It's even got a key for the ignition switch. It's got its original cables on it, and you can tell that by grease nipples. For some reason this phone isn't focusing very well, apologies. It's got grease nipples on the cables. In fact, there's two on that one, because there's one down there as well. Matte black brake plate, which is correct. You can see it's got its bash plate. A bit of wiring has come away there, but I think that's because the cables probably accidentally got pulled in transit. And also you can see that it's got tie wraps to replace some of the original cable ties, but they're easy enough to sort out. Exhaust looks in good condition, not rotted, especially the back box. The shield is in excellent condition. It's not been bashed around. Some of the zinc plating on the nuts and bolts is still intact. Original indicators with the nut on the inside, on the outside. Original gold seal K70 tyres. Rear rim isn't in such good condition, so it'll clean up a bit, but yeah, it's suffered more. Maybe again that's a symptom of it being parked, nose in, somewhere in a shed or a garage or an awning. But other than that, a very, very original and still pretty tidy bike. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention as well, it's on its side stand there and it's sitting nicely upright, and it hasn't suffered from the usual cracks around the side stand mounts, which is a common fault with these and the B25s with the same frame. The electrical box has got the right connectors in it, including the one piece for the headlight, which I didn't think they put on the later boxes, but it has got a later revision of the mounting points for the electrical box. So there we are. One very complete original B50SS. The only addition, aftermarket addition I can see on it is that petrol filter. Now what we're going to do initially before the NEC show is we are just going to give it a clean up as is, and then following that, and once we've finished Greg's Bonneville, then we'll decide what we're going to do with this, whether we'll do it sort of oil your rag or sort of a running tidy up, or whether we do, as I say, a full restoration and give it a dove grey frame as an example of what they might have looked like. But there we are, everyone. That's it for now. That's the reveal done. More on this soon. But hopefully that's a bit of an interlude, an interesting interlude to the Silver Jubilee that we're working on at the moment, which we're still cracking on with. Right, well, leave it there for now. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Thanks for your interest, comments and any subscriptions. And I'll see you all again soon, and especially those that are able to attend the forthcoming shows. Cheers, bye-bye.